sure I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by the last Sonny Liston. Ali joins me. Mate, thanks for giving me some of your time. How's things?
Yeah, all good, my brother. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Very busy gym today. And I suppose probably the perfect environment, or one of the best kind of environments to train in, because when everywhere you look, everyone's working hard. There's kind of no way you can escape working hard.
Yeah, no, that's it. Literally, like you say, Mark Tibbs come down today if he's stable. Another stable's come down. So yeah, we're all literally watching each other. It's competitive, but it's like, you know what I mean? You're always learning. You're looking at him working hard. You think, fucking hell, like he's doing this good on the bag. He's doing that good inspiring. Do you know what I mean? You're always picking up little things.
Yeah. Just kind of a quick review of 2022, or perhaps even, I'll say, from your last fight to your debut, because I think that kind of spanned a year, didn't it? Yeah, November 2021 to November 2022. Just talk to me as an overview about what that year was like for you, and perhaps starting with, was it what you expected when you turned professional, or was it completely different?
Oh God, that's a crazy question, you know. It's a weird one, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's so good, but I feel like that last year was a bit of a learning. You know what I mean? I'm new to the game. I managed to smash out 5 fights like over a short period of time. I've started picking up little things that I do well, started picking up things I don't do well. Trying to find the right weight for me to fight at as well, which I think we found now, which is about welterweight. Yeah, and like I said, but it was literally just learning. Like I was picking up things, and I know what I'd done wrong last year. Like even not even just boxing wise, I'm talking like financial wise, I'm talking social media wise. There's a lot of things that I do need to work on, and this year it's all about putting them things in place. And then the next year, that's when everything should be set, done, ready.
Was there a lot more of outside of the ring headache than you expected? Because a lot of fighters, when I ask that question, I ask you, especially, I mean, you've been on bigger shows, but if I speak to the guys on the small hall circuit, maybe especially, everyone says, I looked at it at the end of the year and thought, fuck, like, there's been so much going on outside the ring that you kind of don't expect.
Yeah, no, of course. There's so much politics behind it that you don't realise until you do turn over, until you're there in the stage. You know what I mean? Even the weigh-ins, you're talking little things like that. The medicals, it's always something. Do you know what I mean? There's always something you need to do extra for the medical, or this or that.
Is it boring in a sense? Because I know that from a fighter's perspective, you're probably thinking on a fight week, as much as you know you got to do all of this, I know you just want to get to the Saturday and you just want to fight.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I wouldn't say boring. It's more frustrating. Like, it's like my last fight, for instance. A day before, we were still like sort of like, fucking, we're gonna get this film in. Like, we sent the film off, blah blah blah. I'm not saying do whatever. We sent this film off, and we got to get this film back. And it was a bit of like hit and miss for the whole fight week. It was stressful. I'm sitting there going, fuck me, like, is this fight even gonna go through now? If this film don't get put in place properly, like, blah blah blah, little things like that. And it's this is the things that people don't see. Do you know what I mean? Behind the scenes, people only see you in the ring. They don't see what you're doing in the gym, even outside the gym. Like I said, with the medicals, this and that. It's very frustrating, and they want everything like. And I get it. Listen, the boxing ball, they've got to be so strict nowadays. Like, all the people getting injured, like they want to stop that. They don't want anyone getting hurt. So I understand it. Do you know what I mean? I can't moan.
Yeah. Well, like you said, they're there for a reason. Yeah. But all that kind of hard work and painful, perhaps boring stuff at times, all kind of accounts for you getting in the ring and doing your job. And you must have had good fun getting in the ring and doing it as well. You strike me as someone who kind of enjoys and soaks up like camera and lights and stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, last year, if it was saying about last year, even last year when I first turned over and I was doing interviews, I was more nervous for interviews than I was for fights. Really? I was sitting there getting, oh, fuck's sake.
I suppose that's because growing up fighting, it's not second nature, but you know, that's what you do, yeah?
That's it, yeah, fighting's, like, I know fighting like the back of my hand, do you know what I mean? Like, fighting's fighting, but interviews and that, I've never really been a big talker, I've never really been a big, like I said last year, it's all about learning. So I've learned how to sort of up my game in the interviews. I've learned how to social media as well. Even social media, before I turned over, I weren't posting nothing on Instagram, nothing on Twitters, Facebooks and all them stuff. Do you know what I mean? I was literally just doing me, just training, covering the hard work, but it's all part of it. It's all part of it, all the social media and that.
Yeah. And now looking forward to a busy 2023. Can you plan out too much what you want? Because obviously boxing's quite an unpredictable sport. Do you sit down kind of at the start of the year and predict what you want, or is it just look, let's get it fight by fight and just go with the flow?
That's it. I'll just go with the flow. Yeah, whatever they think. Listen, like I said, most interviews. I've got a good team around me. My coach Will Jones, he's like, me and him get along really well, like really close. I trust him. I trust him in my life. Do you know what I mean? I trust him so much. Whatever he thinks is best for me, whatever he thinks I should be doing, I'm happy to take his word, man. I know he's only got my best interest at heart.
Yeah. And wanting to get on more big shows and kind of increase the exposure as well. Obviously, last time out at the O2 on massive card, to kind of aiming for. I know they can't all be like that, but you'll kind of want to be aiming for the top show.
It's a mad one. I see that last fight. It's crazy. I was in the changing rooms, yeah. So obviously it's O2 now. I'm buzzing. I'm like, I can't believe it's on fight. I've never even been to the O2. Do you know what I mean? So to fight at the O2 is mental. I'm sitting in the changing rooms now. I started to warm up, doing my stretches and that, and then I hit the pads. I was just gone bang, and my back just went in the changing room. And I'm thinking, fuck, like, do you know what I mean? I'm literally thinking, fuck. Will's looking at me, and I've told like we was having a few back problems like for weeks before, months before even. We turned down the fight before the O2 one, which I'm glad I did now because it got me onto the O2 show. But because I had to pull out because of my back, like I don't know if I slipped a disc or what, but yes, I pulled out that one, and then we got the O2 one come up, and I was like, yeah, well, listen, it'll be fine by then. He had a couple more, like another month to fucking heal it. So yeah, got on the O2 one, and in the changing room, it's been all good during camp. I was seeing physios, blah blah. It's all good during camp. I was sparring. And then I got in the change rooms, I've hit the pads and it just went. And it's like, trust, like, what luck is that? Do you know what I mean? It's hit the pad, bang, it's gone. And I'm looking at Will. Will's gone to me, no, you're sweet. And I was looking, I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, no, you're sweet, bro, trust me. And I was like, alright, fuck. I just put it in the back of my mind. And then once I got in there, the adrenaline sort of kicked in. There was a few little moments. In the first one, I think I even fell over. I went in for a left hook and I've caught short a little bit and my back just went and I just ended up stacking it on the floor. And I thought, oh, fuck, here we go. I thought that was it from then, but then I managed to soak it back up, and I think it feel like that fight, the adrenaline got me through that. Because as soon as I got out the ring, I asked anyone, like I was doing interviews, and I was sitting there, like I couldn't move, I was struggling to walk. So yeah, that was crazy. So I don't even think I got hit in that fight. So it's like that fight was more just technical. I was literally just trying to hit and not get hit. Like I was thinking, doing anything I can just to ease the back pain. Do you know what I mean? Weren't trying to do no big shots, weren't trying to twist. So. Yes, as much as O2 was brilliant, it's a bit disheartening for me. Yeah,
well, I suppose it taught you how to come through adversity for the first time in your career inside a professional ring.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. Yeah, like you say, I don't think I'm not even just trying to say this big-headed. I don't think a lot of people have pulled out in that change room 100% because I can't obviously I can't tell you how much it hurt. Do you know what I mean? I can't explain that to someone, but like. I was in bits. I was bad, and luckily Will got me through that. Asked like even all the other boys in the change rooms all saying to me like, "Brother, you sure you're alright? You sure you're alright?" And they're making me shook even more. Do you know what I mean? And then Will's going, "Nah, you're sweet. So I managed to get through it.
Cheers, boys, for helping me. Just make me think about it even more. So yeah, big 2023, active 2023, and I suppose that's kind of all we can say. Just take it as it comes and. You know, people always say like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know, people always say, oh, maybe titles towards the end of the year. Is that something you could even really think about now?
Like I said, I'd love that. Do you know what I mean? I think any boxer wants titles. You know what I mean? So I'd love that. But like I said earlier, yeah, it's up to Will. Whatever Will thinks, whatever Andy Alien thinks, Frank Warren. Do you know what I mean? Whatever that road they want to put me down, I'm happy.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred route in terms of the classic sort of Southern area, English, British, European one? Or a lot of Warren fighters going down the international route and getting yourself kind of embedded nice and early with a governing body. Do you have a preference really out of those two?
Do you know what? I'd love to do it the old school way, Southern area, English, British, and then European. But I'll go that way. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to do that, but like you say, politics in boxing is mental at the minute. So it's whether we can do that or not. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy with whatever. As long as I've got a nice belt around my waist, I'm happy.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.